Digital art students, here it is, part 2 of the Czech poster assignment. To review, you are taking something recent, from recent history, like this movie Black Swan, and you're creating a poster that looks like it came out of Czechoslovakia in the 1950s. It's something we call an emulation. You're looking at a style and you emulate it to fit your needs, which is a poster for today. All right. Last we looked at some Photoshop examples. Today we're going to look at using Illustrator. And Illustrator is going to help us because right now I'm working on a Transformers thing. And let's see here. Let's look at this one. And let's turn this on. Here we go. And I'm going to turn all these layers off. All right. So I looked up some examples because I picked my movie and I looked up examples of posters and I saw that there is a, like the regular poster that looks something like this, right? And this is your usual kind of movie poster. It is really like, wow, it's like a big explosion and it's all photorealistic. And you see principal actors, who's most important? Oh, it should be Shia LaBeouf. I don't know, maybe he's not as good these days. Anyway, so this is what a poster looks like. Good. I also looked up images of what artists have done, and this artist, I forget his or her name, decided to do this kind of cartoon version of the Transformers universe. Autobots and Decepticons. And you see this one half and the other half. And it's pretty cool. And it looks like it's old. It's kind of an old style. Yeah, a little bit. But it's not really Czech art. But it gives us some ideas. It gets you out of looking at posters that are made today and thinking about the look we want to achieve. I'll stop it. You want me to stop it? So, what can I get out of this? By looking at this, I see that really one of the most important things here are the symbols in Transformers. The symbol for Autobots and for Decepticons. So, I'm going to start there. And let's just skip ahead here and look at the turkey cooked a bit. I went in and I traced in a really rough style, like a handmade kind of style. I traced over that because when I look at examples of Czech poster art, it is not perfect. That's not the point. There are very expressive lines used, like in this one. And there are even the way this type was used, which I think I showed you last time. Okay? So back to Illustrator. To do this, I used the pencil tool. And all I have to do is trace over a shape and set it to fill to black, or whatever color I want it to fill to. And there we go. That is a skill you learned on the self-portrait project, also in the totem and the ambigram. You use that tool along with the pen tool. And so I get to a point where I trace this and I trace the Decepticons, and then I decide, how am I going to join these together using repetition? And so the first thing I did was I just made this shape down here. I was like, okay, what if I was going to make something that kind of looks like a frame of this shape? Like if I were to trace all around it, but I don't trace all around it, just this. I make it, copy, paste it, and when I paste it, I end up setting this one to an opposite fill. I make it a white fill with a black border. And then I keep going. And I'm thinking, maybe somehow I'm going to lead the viewer from the Autobots to the Decepticons. They are connected. All right? That's what I want to... They're the most important things about Transformers. I select all of this, copy, and paste into Photoshop. Okay? And in Photoshop, I have it pasted in here, and I decide, hey, I'm just going to try a red background right now. There's a red background. And then I put in this vertical line here because I've noticed that Czech art uses lines. They like to break up space with lines because your eyes like to see that. It's a part of composition. So I do this vertical line here that's kind of thick and that horizontal line. And then I started playing around with type. Let's see what there. And I brought in this kind of modern type that disappears as it goes off the edge. And this is an old trick in graphic design. If you want to catch your viewer's eyes, give them something that, whoa, wait, what's going on? And they see transform and then ers down here, and they can put it together, right? And it's kind of borrowing on this line. It's lined up with this. And the fact that it's angular kind of helps. Let's keep going. I decided to do this one for Transformers Age of Extinction. So I put these in, and notice that this is not finished yet. This is not perfect, not even close. But I started this in Illustrator, and I decided to do that really expressive type style where I just draw out the letters and then copy and paste them into Photoshop. Now, I was thinking, okay, I need to show you guys, this is all very graphic. This is using shape and letters. How would we get an old photo in here? And I'm thinking, Age of Extinction. What is an image to me that seems like extinction? So I found an image of a TV. TV's kind of extinct. And then I also put in this horizontal line. Has anybody seen a really old TV, tube TV, turn off and it goes down to the little dot?
Yeah.
So this could also mean like the end of a civilization, an extinction, a nuclear bomb, something like that. And so this is kind of weird right now because I had to tweak it so that you could see it on the projector. It doesn't look exactly the way I want it to. But this is a good start. And I had no idea I was going to get to this place. It just started with me tracing something meaningful having to do with the film, not an actor's face, right? And then seeing where it went, all right? The example we saw last time where you're starting with photos and working in Photoshop, that works too. Two different ways. Some people like to draw like this. That's kind of what gets them more interested in the image. You can do that too. I would take your questions, but the people online don't care. They just want the video. Thank you for learning.